Oh, weather gods, you have forsaken me so today with this cloudy friggin' weather and the day I wanted to film. Oh well, it's not like you guys are here for like high quality, excellently well made produced content, is it? Let's try focusing because this is how we focus in my world. Okay, it's good enough. Let's go! Today we're talking about something potentially controversial. Like in many party dances, Lindy Hop has a leader role and a follower role. Leaders, generally speaking, suggest movements, and followers, generally speaking, execute those movements. Leaders are the person with the roadmap, and followers are the person driving the car. Leaders can give bad directions or confusing directions, and followers can always take the wrong turn or go completely off the rails. But in an ideal world, the directions are clear and timely and lead to an excellent adventure. And the driver can take the turns when they need to take the turns or signal when they need to change lanes and divert off course. And I don't really know how to drive, so I'm gonna bail on this metaphor now before I get in too deep. Here is where I get super nervous. There are lots of different and nuanced ways of thinking about lead and follow technique, and I know people feel very, very strongly about it. I do not want to upset or offend anybody. These are just my personal opinions that for some reason I've decided to put out onto the internet. If you disagree with me, please do so in a civil and kind manner in the comments, and just please don't come at me. I'm already scared of you. So in my research and understanding, these roles have never truly been gendered. Like Al and Leon used to dance together all the time, and we have plenty of photos and footage of people of all genders dancing together in whatever role they wanted to from back in the day until now. I'm pretty sure it's the patriarchy trying to sell us this idea that all men should lead and all women should follow, but I'm not buying it. I personally prefer following to leading. I solely think that's because I started as a follower and I've put more hours in as a follower. Therefore, I feel more comfortable following. I do know how to lead, and I have also taught as a leader. And sometimes I lead more at socials because I feel safer dancing on the floor as a leader sometimes instead of as a follower. And it just kind of depends on the circumstance and how I'm feeling on the day. I do think that everybody should learn both roles. Firstly, as an exercise in empathy, it's really good to understand what the person you're dancing with is currently going through. Secondly, it allows you to dance with more people, and who doesn't want to dance with more people and make more friends? So if I can lead and follow and switch, I can dance with everybody, and that's great. And finally, it helps you understand the mechanics and the fundamental techniques of partnering. This is where we're going to get a little bit controversial, so hold on to your little butts. Something I've noticed as an instructor is that leaders and switch dancers sometimes have a better understanding of the dance than their follower counterparts, even at the same level. It's not difficult for some followers who are exclusive followers who've never tried any other role to get to a relatively high level of intermediate advanced without truly understanding some of the mechanics of the dance. For example, how a linear rock step can change rotational movement, or how a particular hand connection can set up a new shape, or how subtle changes in bounce and pulse can lead subtle changes in rhythmical footwork. It's a case of your body just following something without your brain having time to kick in to understand why did you actually just follow that movement? This was totally me. I was one of those followers that I knew I could follow, but I had no idea why I was doing the things that I was doing. I just did them and I didn't understand it at all. One of my favorite concepts to teach at this moment is follow initiation. This is just the word I have decided upon for this concept, but I know there's loads of people teaching this and I know there's loads of different words for it. So, some other words I've heard for this include shared responsibility, collaborative construction, whatever you want to call it, it's still the same thing of both people, leader and follower, are equally responsible for the success of the dance. Both people are equally responsible for what moves happens, when they happen, how they happen. My goal for me when I social dance is to connect to the music, myself, and my partner. If I'm particularly inspired or have a very strong idea about what I would like to have happen next in the dance, I don't want the particular role I just happen to be dancing in to stop me from bringing this idea into fruition. I want to have the understanding and the skill set to make sure that I can express myself as a dancer regardless of what role I happen to be dancing in. For me, this is not the same as switch dancing. I know loads of people are super duper into that, and I do not want to take any of the joy away from that. But I find the nuance of being able to influence the dance while staying a follower is super duper weird and nerdy and a little bit sneaky, and I think that's why I like it so much. But I really like this idea of being able to stay as a follower but still have a really strong voice and contribute to the dance. but that's just me. This doesn't mean social dancing is a constant power struggle. It's like a great conversation. You just have to strike a balance between the two different voices. Put it this way, if someone's telling a really great story, you're not going to interrupt them with something completely random. You might pepper into the conversation little bits and pieces to encourage them to continue. So if somebody is just blathering on for the sake of hearing their own voice, it's really sucky when you're too shy or don't even know how to interject. But it's equally boring when both you and the other person have nothing to say and you're just going through the motions. Building an understanding of both roles will help you have dances where it's about the two individual people coming together with their own unique perspectives and ideas to create this new wonderful thing that can only happen with those two particular people. And that's wonderful. And that is what, in my opinion, makes an insanely great social dance. That, for me, is excellence, and now I really miss social dancing. Why did I make this video? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about leading, following, and social dancing, and I don't really know. I wrote the script at 4 a.m., so it went off the rails. If you'd like to hear more about my innermost thoughts on the dance, check out my Patreon here, or see other videos that I've made here. I'm feeling very YouTubey at this current time, and I don't really know how to do this. But I need to sign off, and so I've decided to steal something from Binging with Babbage. Please keep dancing. I will if you will.